All right, so last week we installed 30 solar panels on our 36-foot boat.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a lot of prep. Today's the big day that we're gonna install all of our solar panels. Good?
Absolutely.
Can I get it all in there?
Epic.
Yes!
So we took each of the panels that needed to be connected in series and connected them in series inside the cabin top. And then we could run just 2 wires per each set back to our little bus bar where they connect to that big MPPT board that we built and installed. And we have right now on deck right at 1.5 kilowatts of solar installed. That's like their rated output power. We plugged everything into our MPPT board and we switched on zones 2 and 3. We kind of ran into a pretty big problem. All of zone 2 and 3 are on. They are connected to the solar, they're connected to the batteries, but we've got a bit of a problem. We're only producing like 30 watts of solar right now, and we've got 1.5 kilowatts of solar on deck.
And then we realized what the problem actually was.
Up until this point, we have been wiring our battery bank and the distribution and installing the inverter and shore charger and all the MPPTs, and now we've wired up all of our solar panels, and all of those things are putting power into the battery bank, and we don't have anything wired up yet to take power out of the battery bank. So our batteries are sitting there fully charged, which means all of these charge controllers with a solid light on them mean that they're just saying the batteries are full. So these are reading the batteries are full because they are full, and so they're off. They're not taking any of the power from the solar panels and putting it into our battery because there's no space for that power to go. So in order to do some kind of proper testing of this system, we need to hook up our first load. We need to wire something to the battery banks so we can drain our batteries a bit so that we can test to see how much power these generate. Yeah. What are we gonna hook up? Air conditioning?
Air conditioning.
So we do have like a little portable AC that we're running off of the shore power right now, like just an extension cord. But I bet if I take that extension cord and wire it to our inverter, then we could run the air con off our batteries for a while to drain them, and then these will start working. Hopefully. In behind our inverter, which we've installed in the back of our hanging locker, we've wired up our AC distribution breaker box. It's just been sitting there for the last couple of months, but now we need to hook a load up to it. So I just temporarily hooked up an extension cord into one of the breakers so we can kick our inverter on and then plug the air con into that extension cord, and we can start running power out of our battery bank. So if I turn this switch on, this should turn on. Inverter, and then turn this breaker on, and then it goes, that clicks on. Oh, we're gonna have to disconnect shore power though. If we take the air conditioners out of this extension cord and plug it into this extension cord, now we're running air conditioning off of our batteries. Oh, it's so nice. We have 2 air conditioners in here because they're both kind of tiny. All right. Solar powered air conditioning. Let's go. All right, well, the inverter's on. We've got 2 air conditioners running. We're drawing about 1.5 kilowatts out of our battery bank. Shore power's unplugged, solar panels are turned off. So hopefully in an hour or 2, we will drain the batteries a bit and we'll be able to turn on all the solar panels again and see how much they're actually producing. Because our batteries are fully charged, the charge controllers for the solar are never really going to be able to run at max power until the batteries are depleted enough that they can accept all of the power in from our solar panels. So we have a little bit of time to wait for our batteries to drain before we can actually do testing on output. And in the meantime, we are going to start answering as many questions as we can from last week's video and dive into some of the more technical details about this system, the setup, and our future plans. Try to get to all the questions you guys asked in as organized a fashion as possible. So I think that the number one question and the number one concern that all of you had in the comment section was, won't they get too hot in the sun? Black panels on deck in the sun. Most of you were concerned that we were going to burn our feet or that they would turn into jello and melt in the hot sun. But today it is midday, peak sunshine in the Med in the middle of the summer, and we're on the hard. And there's a little bit of a breeze, but the breeze is kind of like a hot, dry breeze, so it's not doing much for cooling anyway. So yes, black solar panels do get hot in the sun, but the real question is how hot, and is it enough to burn our feet? All right, so for reference, today it is 33 degrees Celsius, and we are just at high noon, a little bit past noon. I think that's 90 something degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So it's about as hot as it ever gets. The Med in the summer is way hotter than the Caribbean in the summer. Let's see how long we can stay on deck before our feet turn into bacon.
Okay, you ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
I'm kidding.
Okay. I mean, it is definitely hot.
Yeah,
It is.
So yeah, I mean, the panels are
They're warm.
warm, but like they're not gonna burn your feet. And if you stand still, they get kind of immediately cooler. And if you step somewhere new, it's kind of like, that's kind of hot, but then it gets immediately cooler. And if you step into like, if I'm in Kika's shadow, it's not hot at all.
Yeah. So I would say personal thought, if you have sensitive feet, it might be a little hot for you. I'm always a second away from saying like, maybe I don't stand there, and then I move my feet and then it's fine again.
This kind of reminds you of when you go to the beach in the summer and the top layer of sand is like, ooh, that's kind of hot. And then you just dig your toes in just a little bit and it's fine.
I wish I could dig my toes in a little bit here.
But this is all subjective. We've got science. I've got a little thermal camera on the back of the phone. So we're gonna go around and look at the actual temperature of the cells in the shade, out of the shade, and compare that to the white deck, compare that to anything else black that we can stand on, to give a bit of frame of reference other than just how our feet feel.
Yeah, because maybe we have tougher feet than most people.
We do have pretty tough feet.
Yeah,
We go barefoot a lot.
We are barefoot a lot, so maybe our calluses already act as like a buffer.
Middle of the day, when it's this hot, if we're out on anchor, we're not gonna be out here suntanning on deck. Like, we're gonna be out freediving or in the dinghy or swimming or under the shade or exploring somewhere during the day. We're not like out here standing on deck. And if we do need to like come up here to adjust something or to move something or unzip the stack pack, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's warm, it's hot. It feels not comfortable, but it doesn't burn your feet.
I mean, it doesn't burn your feet.
But it's not burning your feet?
Yeah. No, I would say that it definitely is hot, but it's not enough that I would want to run into a hospital with ice and
it's not causing damage. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do what is comfortable? Air conditioning. Do you know what we're going to be able to run with this much solar on our boat? Air conditioning. So if we don't want to go free diving, we'll be down below working on our computers in air conditioning.
All right, so let's go.
All right, I've got a screen recording on my phone with the camera running. Up in like the top right, we'll put it up on screen. There's two numbers. There's the number of like the thing that's in the middle of the screen. There's like a little crosshair. And then there's a second number for like the hottest point on the screen. And it's subjective. If I turn it over here, it all changes. So for instance, Kika, 30 degrees Celsius. Camera, slightly warmer. So our white deck is 45 degrees Celsius. That's our frame of reference. Now, solar. Ooh. All right, so here is our solar panels on deck in the sun. The hottest point is like right there in the middle. 60, 61, where that black caulking line is. But on average, it's more like, it's like a spot of 60, 55, 50 to 60.
Do you think that because we were standing there, it kind of
we
changed?
can go to another spot.
Yeah, let's do it at the
Let's
bow.
go to the bow. All right, all the way out. The one angled towards the sun is definitely, I don't want to like put my footprints on it. Yeah, the one angled towards the sun is definitely hotter, 60. And then this side is definitely cooler, 55 to 60. Yeah, so those are 55, 60. And then here in the shade, the shady spot's 40, 42. So the same temperature as the white. 36, 37, shady side of the white. Acrylic hatch, 40. Oh, it's somehow can see like the sun's reflection is getting it messed up.
What about like if I stand in a section for 5 seconds?
Okay.
So measure without me in the sun.
Yeah. So it is peaking out at 60, between 55 and 60. All right, step
Okay.
like right there.
And then like wait 5 seconds and then measure my shadow.
You're like a nice cool 40 degrees on your feet. Now step off. Oh. It's like 10 degrees colder where your feet were. Look at that. It's like 52 and the hottest point on deck is 60.
It does make a difference.
This thing's fun.
All right, what else can we measure in comparison?
Okay, so far it looks like on average the panels are around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Like 60 is like the hottest hot point, but on average I think they're around 50, 55 degrees Celsius, I'd say. On the Dodger, they're gonna be about the same. You can see my feet. We got like a hot spot of 67 over there. So it's pretty toasty. We did the white deck already. What else can we measure that's black?
Our Crocs.
So this is like a sample of the synthetic teak decking that we're planning to do in the cockpit, spoiler alert. And it is kind of a generic brown color. We've had it out here for like a year, just walking on it, beating it up, just as sort of a test. And it's also 60, 62 degrees. So this is the same temperature as the solar panels are. Even though it's like a lighter color technically, it's still pretty warm. And then these are our Crocs, which we got 65, basically 66, 65.9, 66 degrees inside our Crocs. Our shoes are they're 6 degrees hotter than the hottest point on deck. Let's do the concrete down below, and let's do the hood of the truck because it's black aluminum. Oh, those are definitely warmer than the solar panels. I don't like how that feels. Okay, let's go do the truck.
Oh yeah. Whew.
All right, these are the brown wood steps going up to our boat. They are 66 degrees. In the shade, it's like 38. This is the concrete, 57 degrees, 55. So that's just like the brown concrete of the shipyard. I bet the hood of our truck is gonna be the hottest thing we're gonna measure.
Maybe 80 degrees.
Yeah, so we've got
Or just
this
here.
like aluminum tread. It's black, 62 degrees. So it's also the same, a little bit hotter than the solar, but not by much, 3 degrees hotter. It's pretty hot. But this feels hotter, that's the thing. Like for some reason, the solar at 55, 56 degrees, like you can stand up this, like put your hand on this.
Oh no, yeah,
Like,
this
I
is
wouldn't
hot.
want to stand on that. So maybe the cells are 66, but since it has that thin plastic layer, it feels a little bit less hot. Because I don't think I'd want to walk on this. This is, I don't even want to put my hand on that. That's definitely feels hotter. It's weird.
All right. Let's go to the docks.
Dock is 60 degrees. 55, 60 degrees. Same temperature as the solar. But this feels more like the solar. This doesn't feel like it's burning my feet. I think it's the difference between 55 and 65 degrees. It's 10 degrees different, makes a difference. And today it's 33 degrees outside, so everything is 20 degrees warmer. Our Crocs are almost double. 66 degrees instead of 33. Oh, I can see the reflection of the sun again, so it's doing that. 60 degrees. 55, 60 degrees. It's the same heat as this panel, which has air underneath it. I also don't really want to put my hand on this for too long. Yeah. And
It feels
also
hotter.
angled away from the sun.
This feels
It
much
like,
hotter.
Like, I think it has to do with thermal mass. Just hear me out. This is my unscientific opinion. I think that like this is glass with silicon cells and glass holds heat really, really well. So when you stand on this, that heat is still 100% available because of the mass of it, right? Same with the metal in the truck. Like the whole truck is 60 plus degrees Celsius, and then you put your hand on it, all that heat stays there. Whereas since the panels are plastic, when you stand on them, yes, it's 60 degrees or 55 degrees when you first stand on it, but then your foot kind of absorbs that little bit of heat, and then it's cool after that. It doesn't like have that like thermal mass to keep radiating more of that heat into your foot. That's when you first step your foot, it's like, well, that's kind of hot. And then you stand there like, oh, it's fine. Whereas this, like, and the truck, again, like your hand can't absorb the heat out of it and make it cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of makes sense in my brain.
I think that makes sense too.
That's good. It's two of us. What do you guys think? I think the conclusion we can safely draw is it's the
hot.
med in the summer. Everything is hot. But the solar panels are no more hot than other things that we'd be standing on. And in some cases, like the truck and our shoes, they're actually cooler.
Yeah.
So no, they're not gonna melt our feet. They're fine. I think basically they get just as hot as synthetic teak decking does. And since both are plastic, it doesn't have that thermal mass to like burn you like the truck hood would.
I think that's the part for me that was the most enlightening, is that the truck, the metal in the truck and the solar panels technically have about the same temperature, but the difference in the material makes a huge difference in how it feels on your feet. Because like the metal in the truck, I cannot stand on that for 2 seconds.
No, like that will actually burn you, I think.
Yeah, but here, after a while, like the heat dissipates and you absorb it, and so yes, it's hot, but it doesn't melt your feet off, which is kind of cool.
Which is kind of the point, because we're going to be walking on it in the summer on the
But
deck of our sailboat.
it is a bit hot though, I would say.
But I don't think I'd want to walk on the deck of our sailboat when it's this hot anyway. Oh, do you know what I think would be sweet? You know, so I think shoes would be a bit overkill, but in the summer, if you're worried about like grip or heat, you know what I think would be perfect? You know, like those socks that kids wear with like the little.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Give me a second.
Why is she getting
I know
excited?
exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly where to find them. I think I had it somewhere. Oh my goodness. This is making me so excited. You're talking these socks. You're talking about
You
these
have
socks,
them?
right? Yes, I have them. It's actually, oh my goodness, this is the most beautiful coincidence, because these guys agreed to sponsor a video, and today is going to be the video that I decide that they're going to sponsor, because we're going to talk about them. So these are my Bombas grippy, most comfortable socks ever. And I'm going to wear it now because I think it's the perfect opportunity to show that humans have invented something amazing for this particular situation.
I hope nobody watching has a foot fetish. This whole video is just gonna be.
Check this out. Problem solved. If you're worried about your
Go up
feet,
on Dodger.
it is extra grippy, extra comfy, and not warm at all.
Well, that's convenient.
They make the comfiest socks. They also make merino wool socks, which I'm obsessed with merino wool socks. So I've got, I think at least 7 socks from them that are merino wool. And I recently got these from them as well. And I was excited to start wearing them in the winter, but hey, you know what? This is also a perfect timing for that. The thing that I do like the most about Bombas is that for every item of clothing that you buy, they donate the same item of clothing to somebody in need. And so far, they donated over 200 million items to over 4,000 organizations. And they also make not just socks, they make the 3 most requested items for homeless shelters, which is t-shirts and underwear and socks. And underwear and socks, you don't want to donate used items, so that would be weird. It makes me feel happy because I can feel amazing physically, and I can also feel great emotionally. So if you want to grab a pair, whether it's the amazing grippy socks or another pair of socks, then you can save 20% off your first purchase by clicking on the QR code here, or checking out our code SAILINGUMA. We'll leave it in the description down below. But it is getting a little toasty out here, so I think we're gonna go and head in the shade. But I'm gonna keep my socks on.
All right, so now we're inside, because a lot of you guys had questions about how much of the heat from the solar panels would get transferred through the deck into the cabin and how hot it would make it. So we've got the thermal camera, and we're gonna be pointed up at the ceiling in a second, but this can't possibly be a super scientific test about heat transfer because the windows are open, we have a bit of a breeze coming through the boat, we have the air conditioning running, but what it probably will do a good job showing is the difference on deck where the solar panels are versus where the solar panels aren't. This side is underneath the turtle shell, so it's shaded. Over there's underneath the Dodger. This side deck doesn't have solar panels on it at all. So we'll at least be able to see the variation in heat between where the solar panels aren't and where they are. But without air conditioning, without the windows open, this place would be an oven on the hard anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna hit record on this, and I'm gonna lay on the floor. I'm gonna point it at the ceiling. Oh, this is the best part of my day, laying down in air conditioning. All right, so you can clearly see where the solar panels are. You can see where the turtle shell is. It's right there where the edge of those wires are. And you can see where the solar is on deck. So right now, where the center of the frame is, where that number 1 is, we're at 42 degrees Celsius. And the hottest point is 45-ish degrees Celsius. And that's on like the southern facing side. And then where the turtle shell is, like in the shade, it's 34, 35 degrees Celsius. Over there, kind of same thing, mid to low 40s. Mid to low 40s. You can see where the shadow of the boom is probably on deck, coming right down the middle. That's cool. And then if I go this way, so this is where the solar panel is. And then you can, if I go over here, this is where the solar panel isn't. And we're at, get the window out of there. The deck where the solar panel is 45. Like you can kind of feel it when you put your hand on the deck feels warm, but they both feel warm.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also that's why we insulated our cabin top. We have about 12 millimeters or half an inch of balsa core. So it goes solar panel, foam, 6 mil of fiberglass, 1/4 inch or something, and then 12 mil of balsa, 1/4 inch of fiberglass, and then 12 mil 1/4 inch. Look at me go. I'm
12 mil
I'm
1/4
confusing
inch.
everybody now. And then we've got 4 or 5 mil of cork underneath it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when you stick your hand on the cabin top, it's warm.
I wonder if it would get hotter without the insulation, like evenly.
Is there a place? Oh, let's go to the head. It doesn't have insulation.
Yeah, the head doesn't have insulation,
Do we
but
have
it
a
has
place
solar.
that has no insulation? Okay, so now if I lay down, it's going to be hotter in here because there's less wind as well. Where the solar is installed and no insulation, we've got 50 degrees. And where the solar is installed with insulation, we've got 45 degrees. 45? Wow. 50. So 5 degrees difference between the insulated side, which is over here, non-insulated side over there.
That is a big difference.
Yeah, pretty big difference. Let me do the, let's do the unscientific touch test. Feels warmer. Palms confirm. Yeah, this definitely feels warmer. It's still not hot though. Like it feels like something that's in the sun. Now here is the sunspot coming down on our white hull, and it is also 47 degrees. And the hull beside it's 37 in the shade. Those are the two sunspots. I want to see what the hull is on this side because it's in the sun as well.
Insulated.
Yeah, this is an insulated part of our hull, but it's also black bottom paint, and it is facing at the sun right now, and it's also 40 degrees versus the foam floor, which is no degrees. Yeah, well, that's it. What about this side? Yeah, 40-ish degrees, the hottest point on deck, versus 45, 46 where the solar panel is. So yeah, it's consistently about 5 degrees warmer where the solar panels are compared to the white deck. Not bad. And 45 degrees is not that warm, considering it's 33 degrees outside and the deck's 40/45 degrees inside. But also most of the cooling from these air conditioners are like hovering down here because cold air goes down. So I think just the fact that we have a window open blowing some ventilation through here is probably helping as well, which is how it will be when we're on anchor. Fiberglass is a pretty good insulator, balsa is a pretty good insulator, cork is a pretty good insulator, and the panels are plastic, so they don't like have that thermal mass baking in the inside. Inside is shaded, the windows are open, there's a breeze, the air conditioning's running, it's not that hot, and if we didn't have solar on deck and the windows were closed and we didn't have air conditioning, it'd still be stupid hot in here anyway. So yeah, I don't think the solar's adding any more heat to inside than just being out in the sun would have.
Guys, don't be mad, but I think we're gonna stop this episode right here because while I'm editing this together, I'm realizing that this is hours long of content. And I don't think it's wise to condense absolutely everything into one long ass episode. That would be 5 hours of a Q&A and nobody has time for that, let's be honest. So instead, we're going to split it up into multiple videos, and in each video, we're going to answer a few of the questions that we received in the comments. So I hope that we've answered some of your questions today. I know there's more. Don't worry, we also have a lot of answers. So definitely come back next week because we did a lot of cool experiments to find out if in fact our solar panels are safe to walk on. Because it's one thing to be able to walk on them and not burn our feet, but it's another thing to step on them and break the cells or slip and fall in the middle of the ocean and wave your boat goodbye. So on that note, come back next week to find out, because if I tell you the answer today, you won't come back. And yeah, see you then. Cheers.